Every year, as theme park enthusiasts, we love to see all the new additions coming to theme parks around the world, especially if we get new additions at any of our home parks. However, even though we love to see a new flat ride or a new dark ride or water ride coming to our parks, I think most of us are in agreement that the best things that do come into our parks are all of the great new roller coasters that we see come to the parks every year. In 2023, it's not been any different to any other year. We have had a great list of new coasters added to our parks across the world this year, and in today's video I'm just going to be going through a lot of the new rides that did come to parks in 2023. Was anything slightly more disappointing than we expected? You can see that in another video. I've already put out a video on the channel recently of what I believe was the worst new coaster of 2023. In today's video we're going to be doing a lot more positive. We're going to be focusing on what I believe is the best new roller coaster that was added to any park in 2023, and just going through a lot of the best new coasters that have been added to parks this year. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback down below. What was your favourite coaster to open at a theme park here in 2023? I'd love to hear why. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback again down in the comments below. So let's get into today's video. Please give the video a like if you enjoy it. Massively helps out the channel. Subscribe to Coasternaut if you enjoyed, and let's get into today's video. So many great coasters open this year. Obviously we have something like Uncharted at Ventura World in Spain, one of the Intamin Mulit-Launch coasters. Great theming in the queue, but you know, watch my video that I just hinted to learn a bit more about that one. Our first coaster I want to get into is just not necessarily the best coaster in the world, but something very unique and a really great coaster to open this year, especially for the park it was in. Storm, the Dragon Legend, a Gerstlauer inverted coaster opened at Tusenfryd in Norway. This is clearly the standout coaster at Tusenfryd now that this has opened. It's a great little park there. They obviously had some great rides such as Speed Monster there prior to Storm, the Dragon Legend, but this is a really fantastic coaster, and maybe the reason why I'm highlighting this here, potential to be the start of a potential new model for Gerstlauer. We've never really seen Gerstlauer inverts before, especially not launched ones. This is a really unique layout, multi-pass launch. The launch on Storm is a fantastic launch. It's so powerful, so intense. It can be a bit rattly in areas of the coaster, but not anything that really impacts the ride, in my opinion. You know, a really fantastic coaster, especially for Tusenfryd. Like I say, it's easily their standout ride, and potential, you know, for smaller parks that can't afford massive coasters. This isn't absolutely huge. I can't imagine it cost the park too much money. Maybe the figures out there, I don't know, but this is hopefully a start of more Gerstlauer sort of experiencing not just, I was going to say, new inverts and stuff, but potentially just a bit of a branch out for Gerstlauer. We've never really seen them do something like this before, so hopefully we'd start to see more coasters similar to Storm the Dragon Legend in the future, and just more new different kinds of models from Gerstlauer. Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood in the USA is definitely another coaster to consider here in terms of one of the best family coasters to open anywhere in the world. This is a multi-launch coaster from Vekoma in Dollywood, obviously in Tennessee. And this is one of the first few new Vekomas to come to the USA, and that's so important, you know, starting to see these new wave Vekomas come to the USA. These new Vekomas have been fantastic at parks throughout Europe and Asia since they've started opening, things like Formula, Abyssus, both at Energylandia, Let Coaster at Legendia, one of the most intense coasters anywhere in the world. To see something like Big Bear Mountain, a fantastic multi-launch family thrill coaster, go to Dollywood, it is hopefully the start of this new wave of Vekoma finally making its way over there. And for Dollywood as well, this is their biggest ever investment. You know, that they have so many big coasters like Lightning Rod and Wild Eagle from B&M and RMC. You know, for this family Vekoma coaster to become their biggest ever single investment for the park, it shows you just the epic scale of this coaster, and it really is a fantastic multi-launch coaster. Maybe not the most thrilling coaster to open this year, but probably the best family coaster to open this year, in my opinion. A really great new addition to the park, and hopefully we start to see more coasters like this from Vekoma in the world. At a Disney park, we had Tron Light Cycle Run open at Magic Kingdom in Walt Disney World, and this is a very short ride experience, but obviously it's a Disney coaster. This is absolutely fantastic. Some of the screenplay and different effects you see on this ride, one of the best coasters out there in the world. Obviously there was the version that was over at Shanghai Disneyland, but that was obviously not easily accessible for most people compared to the one at Magic Kingdom that's just opened this year. And this is probably one of the more thrilling coasters at a Disney park. You know, it's got a launch on there. I think it looks absolutely stunning where it is in the park, especially at night, the lighting package that's on the coaster. So once again, maybe not the most thrilling ride in the world, but in terms of what it looks like and just an overall experience, obviously again not probably best park, not the best coaster at Disney, sorry, but a really great coaster and a great addition to Magic Kingdom. Primordial at Lagoon as well. This is sort of a coaster slash dark ride. In terms of a themed experience, I've not had the chance to ride this. Lagoon is in the middle of nowhere from what I gather, but from what I see online, this is a coaster that really deserves a lot of respect put in its name. I think the overall dark ride section looks incredibly well themed. The coaster section outside, for as short as it is, looks like quite a fun little coaster, and when you combine that with the dark ride section, definitely one which I think needs to be noted on this list for a great new coaster that has come to Lagoon. And on the topic of sort of smaller coasters that have come to parks, Matagani at Lost Island I think is a fantastic new addition. Zambezi Zinger at Worlds of Fun, a fantastic wooden coaster. And you know, I think in terms of smaller parks, I think they're definitely coasters that need mentioning. But onto the big guns now. We had two great new RMCs open this year. We had Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park, and we also had ArieForce One at Fun Spots Atlanta. Both of these coasters fantastic for different reasons. I think Wildcats Revenge was obviously the former Wildcat wooden roller coaster from GCI that was converted into a new modern hybrid by RMC, and ArieForce One was a ground up sort of iBox track steel coaster from RMC. And that ArieForce One specifically, I think, is you know, challenging people for Iron Gwazi, challenging Steel Vengeance as probably the best RMC out there, the best coaster in the world for some people. And I just seriously think ArieForce One especially, it easily could be the best coaster this year. I've heard everything about it is absolutely phenomenal, except potentially like core down at the end of the ride having actually too much airtime and being a bit painful for some riders. So a really great coaster there, which I'll come on to again in a short while. But Wildcats Revenge as well, obviously not as stacked in terms of the statistics of the ride. It's not as tall, not as fast as something like ArieForce One, but it's an RMC all the same, and using their popular iBox track, obviously 4 inversions on the ride, super fast. It's definitely going to be one of the most popular coasters amongst enthusiasts in the world to open this year. Pipeline the Surf Coaster, I think this was, you know, probably surprise coaster of the year, if I must say so. I think people, when they announced a new B&M stand-up coaster, obviously using the new surf trains, were a bit shocked and surprised, like, oh, why on earth are they building a stand-up coaster? These aren't very good, you know, all the stand-ups we've ridden in the past are a bit painful, a bit uncomfortable, but the surf trains are fantastic. That seems to focus slightly more on airtime than the old stand-up coasters did on inversions. A really smooth ride experience, definitely very graceful, and I can definitely see, because of the success of Pipeline, far more surf coasters coming to parks across the world in the future. And ending now with 2 Intamin coasters, we have 2 LSM multi-launch coasters, Toutatis at Park Asterix, and obviously Batman Gotham City Escape at Park Warner Madrid. ArieForce One I think is probably the best new coaster to open up in America. The only reason I'm not going to say it wins the overall prize for the best new coaster for the year, and simply because of that quad down, I've just not heard the best things about the ending of the ride, for as perfect as the rest of it may be. I think for me, the best new coaster of 2023 has to be between Toutatis and Batman Gotham City Escape, and I think it actually just sort of comes down to which sort of coaster style you prefer. Toutatis is sort of like a European version of Pantheon, although better in every aspect, different one is based on what I can see. If that's the sort of style of ride you like, fair enough, but for me, I think the easy winner here is Batman Gotham City Escape in terms of what I would like. This seems to be a mix of both Velocicoaster and Maverick. The layout is absolutely phenomenal. The top hat, it's not a trim, but sort of a holding brake on the top there. Fantastic airtime throughout the ride. Great theming as well, you know, a story told throughout the queue line, you know, the sort of pre-show that you get, and then throughout the ride itself is actually theming on the ride with inbuilt audio into the coaster as well. Fantastic new coaster for me. Batman Gotham City Escape at Park Warner Madrid in Spain is the best new coaster of 2023. Do you agree with me though? Is that the best new coaster for you, or do you think it's something else? And I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback and on why you have those thoughts in the comment section below. Once again guys, thank you very much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, please do give the video a like, it massively helps out the channel. Subscribe to Coasternaut for more videos like this in the future, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.